springtime in ancient Greece, a carpet of greenery unrolls across the land. Trees, flowers, fruits, and vegetables, the bounty of spring, blossoms under the guiding hand of Persephone, the goddess of spring.
You are mine.
Ah, but if Hades has his way, winter will arrive a little early this year.
Herc's Adventure is a rare one, folks. This game typically goes for well over $100 on the Saturn, so be warned if you're interested in picking it up. And that is if you can even find a copy. The Saturn version was released exclusively in North America, whereas the PlayStation version was released worldwide. Both versions hit in 1997 and have absolutely nothing to do with Disney's Hercules, which was released the same year. I honestly think that's one of the main reasons why this game never had a chance to shine, because people automatically assumed it was a licensed game, but when in reality, it's one of the best examples of 2D action platforming on both the PlayStation and the SEGA Saturn. Naturally, what you're seeing today is the Saturn version of Herc's Adventure, as expected. It is Saturn Day after all. At the game's onset, you get to select between 3 different characters: Hercules, Jason, and my personal favorite, and what you're seeing here, Atlanta. Each has their own strengths and weaknesses, and the entire adventure can be played via 2-player co-op, which is an absolute delight, and I highly recommend playing the game as such. Herc is the strongest character of the bunch and has a charge attack that can strike multiple enemies, although he's vulnerable to attack until his club returns to him. He's so strong though that he can pick up small homes. Jason is similar to Herc, although not as strong. He has a dagger and his charge attack only hits one enemy at a time. Atlanta is my personal favorite, as I already said, and is by far the most advanced character to use. She has a bow and arrow set, and is the only character that can aim their charge attack at a specific region, which grants special access to goodies that the others don't have access to without using a secondary item. Herc's Adventure featured a lot of really interesting elements for its time. For one thing, the entire game takes place on one massive map, with no load times whatsoever. This allows you to tackle whichever area you want. Along the way, you'll find a scribe who can extend your health bar and your stamina bar, which is used for running and picking up large objects. You can also find a ton of secondary weapons and items which are useful when tackling hordes of the undead, amongst many other enemies. When you finally do succumb to the forces of Hades, you're taken to the underworld and have to make your way to the exit. There are limitless amounts of skeleton soldiers that will try and prevent you from escaping, but if you make it to the exit, you can continue your game. Interestingly, if you die again, you're placed just ever so further down in the underworld, and each successive death puts you further and further away from the exit. Upon the 5th death, it's automatically game over. The gameplay is extremely reminiscent of the Legend of Zelda series, except it feels far more open-ended and free. It takes a little bit of getting used to figuring out where you have to go, but after a short period of time, you'll be cracking skulls with the best of them. There's one element that really makes this game stand out and well worth looking into, and it's the incredible humor. It's classic LucasArts humor, and it will have you laughing out loud on more than one occasion. The cinematics are absolutely delightful, but it's the written dialogue the soldiers spout out that really gets me. If you like funny and witty dialogue like that featured in Deathspank, you're absolutely gonna love this game. The audio-visual presentation is superb and holds up perfectly. The graphics in particular are beautiful. This is actually one of the nicest looking games on the Saturn, and there isn't a polygon in sight, and I think that's the reason why it holds up so well. There are all kinds of funky sprite-based effects going on virtually all the time. From scaling to scrolling effects, you name it, it's featured here. The sound effects, music, and spoken dialogue are all fantastic, and as such, the whole package comes together to form a truly special video game. Herc's Adventure is a gem, and it's a damn shame it's so expensive these days, as more people should give it a spin. The original PlayStation version was released on the PlayStation Network back in February 2014, and I would highly recommend you go and give it a download right away if you can't afford or you can't find one of the disc versions. But I highly recommend Herc's Adventure.
Ouch! Ouch! Ow!